Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Today I'm going to be making a ring from wood from the deck of the Battleship, Massachusetts on black ceramic. Ooh, so let's go in the shop. It's chilly out here. So I've got a black ceramic inlay ring core and wood from the Battleship, Massachusetts. That's BB-59. It was, I think, commissioned in 1942. Now this is not a very big piece. It's as you see, it's not really going to fit that ring in one piece, and it's got this big hole in it, and it's actually broken at that hole. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue this wood together and then use that to make one piece that we can make a ring through. So it's going to have a little bit of a seam in it, but that should be okay. It should be still a pretty ring. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and get these two pieces bonded together really good with two-part epoxy. So let's start on that. Now this shows sometimes you just work with the wood that you can get, because this wood from Battleships is it's kind of it's a disappearing resource. That there's not going to be much of this left anywhere in a few years. So let's go ahead and bond this together. First thing I want to do is clean the wood. We're just going to bond together with denatured alcohol, just to clean it up, just to make sure it's nice and clean there along that edge. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and bond them together with two-part epoxy. So let's go and get our two-part epoxy going. Bunch of little pieces. See there? And the hardener. Alright, just go ahead and mix it together. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just get a good layer on both sides of this. I'm going to clamp them together really tight. Alright, just stick them together. Right there, we can get the best wood piece together. Make sure he's nice and flat. And then we're just going to clamp them together. Clamp. Make sure he's good and clamped. Nice and flat. Alright, now you just gotta sit, and he's gonna cure, and then we will come back to him tomorrow. It's the next day, and the epoxy is nice and cured, so now we're going to cut this guy up and make a ring blank that we can put on the lathe, and we're going to bore it out and turn it to fit that inlay core. So let's go ahead and do that. I think there's some cracks in this wood. So we're going to put some of this ultra thin CA glue, just kind of to help stabilize and keep this wood nice and together while we're working it, just in case. Let that soak in. Oh wait, this stuff hurts your eyes if you get too close to it. I'll have to open up a window in a minute. Get some air in here. So we'll go ahead and let that all cure. That CA glue is cured, nice and hard now. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this ring core. And he is right at 21.88 millimeters. So I got a 22 millimeter Forstner bit chucked up. And we are going to go ahead and I'm going to start with this piece, sand him flat, nice and flat. And then we'll put him in the lathe, bore him out, and then we'll cut this wood so that it's the right depth to fit this core. And I think it's like a 4 millimeter. Let me check that. So 3.97, yeah, so 4 millimeters. We need to sand it just a bit to make it fit, that's fine. But let's go ahead and do that. So we'll start off just sanding this guy off. Make him nice and flat on one side. Alright, got them nice and checked in. This makes it really handy. Move this out of the way. And our 22 millimeter Forstner bit. Put them in that. Now we just drill him out. Now we're going to cut him this way to fit that ring core. So we got basically a boring bit chucked up in my tool post. We put him all the way, I can see the back of the wood, all the way to the back of the wood, till it just peeks out. When I see him peek out, that's the 0 point. So then I turn on my DRO, digital readout, zero him out, and he calculates how far it's moved this way. I pull him back till he's at 4 millimeters. Alright. Then I just lock down my carriage so he won't drift. And now I'm going to turn him this way, and that'll pull off the wood on this side, cut it off, and leave 4 millimeters of wood. Alright, here's that wood with the little shelf, and that's where it'll fit right into that core. So let's go ahead and take him to the bandsaw. I'm going to cut up to where that shelf is and then break it. The reason we don't go all the way through it is the saw would take away wood, so we wouldn't have a perfect circle. And that's called the saw kerf, where the saw cuts. So we don't want to go, we don't want to break it, so we can epoxy it back together and have a nice, clean, perfect circle that fits around that ring core right. Now we break that ring core right there. I take a piece of aluminum, nice square aluminum that I used with a nice straight edge. Put that right there, just pop it, pop, just like that. And we see how we fit in that ring core. Oh, it fits pretty good. I think he's fitting really good. Yes. Alright. That's pretty good. Didn't need any sanding. Still got a little, so I can turn it, so I can put the two-part epoxy in and give it a little turn to make sure it's all in there really good. It's looking really good, so now we just epoxy them together. First thing we always do is we clean off the wood and the core with denatured alcohol. So do that real quick, and we do the wood first. You want to make sure that you get any kind of sawdust off of it. See, it's a little, you know, some wood goop. So we make sure it's nice and clean. It just takes a second. Do this out too, and it won't take but a few seconds for it to dry. This is alcohol. It dries off real clean. And the core, I don't think there's going to be anything on this core, but it's always good just in case there's any kind of oil or anything on it. So go ahead and just clean that up. See, it was perfectly clean. There was nothing on that, nothing on that one. Sometimes, like especially like stainless steel, there'll be all kinds of stuff on them. Oil from when they do this turning of it, the manufacturer. All right, so we got the G-Flex. There's a squirrel on my deck. Okay. There we go. And this is probably the best two-part epoxy I've found. It's really good. It's 24-hour set, but that's I think they use it to repair boats. So not that these are waterproof, because that is wood, but this stuff is pretty strong. Just takes 24 hours to set. So we do this part one day and then come back and do the rest of it the next day. Alright, good and mixed up. Now we grow the wood, and we'll put some on the wood. And we do that first so that it'll kind of soak into the wood. Give it a chance to kind of get some of the epoxy into the wood. And then we do it, of course, right there in the little, where it bonds together. It's a thin coating. You don't need much of it, but you do need a consistent, good coating. Alright, then we put some into the ring core itself. You want to go all the way around and make sure that we've got some epoxy in that channel all the way around. And that is to make sure that we got a wet to wet bond, so we don't have any air pockets or dry spots that would be weak. We want to make sure we got a good strong bond all the way around the ring. Alright, so we got that. This black ceramic is beautiful. It's not ceramic like a coffee cup. This is ceramic. It's a titanium oxide. So it is a metal. It's heavy, like pretty much like titanium, maybe a little less. Sorry, a little more, almost like tungsten, but probably somewhere between tungsten and titanium in weight. But it's really shiny. It's really scratch resistant. If you sling it against a concrete wall, it might shatter, but other than that, it's pretty durable. All right. Sorry. Let's get our little clamp here. Clamp him down on the clamps. Now we just let him sit overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow, and the epoxy will be cured, and we will put on the leg. First, we'll cut off around here. We'll put them on the lathe, turn him down to shape, and then we'll finish him off, put some finish on him, get him nice and buffed up, make him really pretty. It's the next day, and the two-part epoxy's all nice and cured, so let's go ahead and get to work. Now we're going to put him back on the lathe, and we're going to hit him really lightly with some 700 grit sandpaper. Then the Dr. Kirk scratch free, number 1, number 2, number 3. With a shop towel, and then our final diamond polish. Then we'll take him over and do some buffing. Well, alright, here's that ring from the Battleship, Massachusetts. The wood inlaid into it. And this is what's left of that wood. So there's a little piece of the wood left that actually has the, I guess it's got a USS Massachusetts on it, or part of the Massachusetts on it. So I'll send that back to the customer with the ring. So it came out pretty good. It was a piece that was kind of hard because it was not big enough for a ring, so I had to cut it, splice it together, and then use that as a ring blanket. It came out pretty good. You really can't tell. But if you would like a ring made from the deck of a battleship, from the stock of an M1 Garand, from Major League Baseball bats, I do all custom work for Heritage and Legacy Woods. Check out hillcountryrings.com. If you'd like to see me make a unique ring, drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to like and subscribe, that would really help the channel. But in the meantime, I'd really love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.